It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey man, y'all know I've done a couple of videos talking about Miss Vonshae Taylor, her estranged husband Gunplay, and their ongoing divorce, whatever domestic issues they had, whatever kind of fights they were having inside the home. I don't want to get into all of that at this particular moment. She has a new video out where she's actually hearkening back to the heart defects that their child was experiencing earlier this year. Now, if y'all can remember, their child was having some problems. They opened up a GoFundMe and were opening up donations for people to give to online. A lot of people were not understanding what was going on, you know what I mean? Because at first it seemed like it was cool. But then DJ Envy kind of criticized the situation. He was wondering why people like Rick Ross, you know, a multi-millionaire with all of these different assets, always showing off money, etc., etc. It's like, yo, how's Rick Ross letting this guy go out sad like that? Like, where's your donation? Where's your contribution to this situation? Why are they out here doing GoFundMes for the public when you got a multi-millionaire that's supposed to be your so-called best friend, your big homie? Once that idea got fed to the public, everybody kind of understood it and was like, yo, what are you doing? Are you trying to goop the people? Are you trying to fool us? Gunplay's response to that was, Miss Vonshae went out there and did it on her own. That was her own instinctual thing to try to find ways to raise money for the child. He let her do it. That's not something he necessarily wanted to do. That wasn't the route that he wanted to go. But she made the impulse decision and he supported her in that to give people the opportunity to show up. Nobody really knew the reason. I mean, it's a newborn child. There's so many different things that can happen. You just never know, right? Well, she's come out and stated that Gunplay's former substance abuse with different drugs is actually the reason why their child has heart issues, okay? That's very sad to see, but let's go ahead and play the video of her explaining this.
You know, my daughter had a heart defect is because of his drug abuse history. Like, he was the cause of her defect. Y'all could Google this. Anybody who abuses cocaine, ketamine, which he did too, he actually OD'd on ketamine twice. Cocaine, ketamine, all those type of things, like, it causes cognitive like disorders and dysfunctions and shit like that. So that's why my daughter's heart was fucked up, and he took it really hard. And I just wasn't with it. Like, I told him once I found out about his history, I was like, look, the moment you start using, I'm out. So I thought giving him that ultimatum was going to like keep him doing well. Clear that shit went out the window. Okay, see, someone just said he stopped doing it right before he got with me, but he's been doing that. See, I didn't know that. That's what I'm telling you. I did not know that. I'm just not finding out. And when I did realize he started using, that's when a lot of our fights were starting. I would ask him, like, why are you sniffing like that? He's very yellow. So it's like his nose would be super red. And he'd be using, like, the Afrin little nose spray. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, it's just allergies. And I believed it because allergy season down here was bad. So I was just a dumbass because I don't know if they're going to air it correctly, but...
So yeah, man, this is actually a very sad situation. I'm gonna be totally honest, man. Now, I saw some people on social media, they were like, yo, how do you get with a guy named Gunplay and then be surprised about his actions and behavior, right? Which I personally agree with. I feel like I've stated that in the past in some of my other videos. Like, yo, how do you get with a nigga named Gunplay and not expect him to be violent? You know, I understand that it's hip hop. I understand that it's entertainment and stuff like that, but there has to be some sort of limitations on these things, man. Now, she may not have known all of his drug history and all of that type of stuff. You meet somebody new, you're out in the dating world, you're having a good time. Somebody comes up to you, charming, y'all kind of got some chemistry. You don't really know him like that. You just seen that he may have, you know, been a rapper at some point. Gunplay, I mean, he doesn't have like no huge discography of music, so it's not like you could just go searching up all of his greatest hits or nothing like that. So clearly she liked him for specific reasons, right? She says that he tried to stop his drug use prior to her meeting him, right? So I guess around the time that they met, he was kind of on the upswing trying to get past his addiction, which, you know, sometimes that's understandable too. Like, you just never know what everybody's into. And sometimes, you know, once you get into it with them, and I mean into it as far as like once you get to know them and kind of start seeing yourself being with them, you're going to try to support them. You're going to try to stand behind them and, you know, be their backbone. Unfortunately, that can also be a very exhaustive thing. You could also be signing yourself up for a lifetime of heartbreak. You just never know where they're going to end up because not everybody comes out on the other side. As you could see in the video, she said that he was very adamant that he was not using any type of drugs, no type of substances, but at times he was having like weird sniffs going on, right? He had a couple shifty moments where she was looking at him like, yo, why you acting like that? Or why is this going on? And he always had some sort of excuse or answer for her. And for a short period of time, it seemed like that was acceptable. But she also says that he relapsed, and once he started using again and she was able to know what was going on, that is where all of their arguments began to arise. Because of course, once that addiction kicks back in, man, it's hard to kick it for a lot of people. That does become like the main objective when they wake up, because their body is now giving in to the drug, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand why things were so bad, why things were so tumultuous between her and Gunplay. I hate this for her. I mean, she's a very young woman. I think she's in her mid to early 20s. He's going into his 40s. You know, I'm sure she expected a little bit more guidance, stability, those sorts of things. But at the end of the day, the baby is who suffers the most, right? Like, of course, the child doesn't really know what's going on at this time. The child doesn't know that he pulled out a firearm and was pointing it at both her and her mom at this point. But who's to say that this rocky relationship that they have isn't going to carry over into this child's adolescent years? Who's to say that they're ever going to have a solid co-parenting situation where they can actually be amicable without arguing, without fighting, without having, you know, just outbreaks of rage? And to be perfectly honest, I feel sorry for Vonshae, man. I mean, you gave this guy a chance and now you're kind of stuck with him. Not stuck with him in a relationship wise, but just you're stuck with him for the next 18 years minimum, if not more, because I feel like he's going to try to use their daughter as a tool, right? To be around, to try to make his presence known. He's probably going to use their daughter as a tool to try to control things in her life, especially if he's funding anything. That's also another thing that I said in one of my old videos. I hope she doesn't accept child support from him so that he doesn't feel entitled to dictate what she has going on in her life. There's a lot of men out there that do stuff like that. But ultimately, I hope that Gunplay can get clean. I hope that he can make the step and the big changes in his life that are needed for him to actually live a productive lifestyle, to leave some things behind. It seems like he's had a number of outbursts this year where he got into it at the club and was smashing shit, smashing speakers, you know, from people playing 50 Cent music or something like that. He just seems like he's very unhinged, you know what I'm saying? And of course, that does line up with his brand. That does line up with the name that he gave himself and continues to go by. I think he tried to rebrand as Don Logan, but unfortunately that didn't seem to last very long either. But at the end of the day, again, I hope he's able to clean himself up for his own personal health, for his own mental health, you know, so that he can actually live a good life with the days that he has left, to where he's able to overcome it and not succumb to those urges, to that addiction. I do wish him the best, despite the things that he's done. And again, I feel sorry for the child, because we don't know how long she may actually be dealing with these heart defects in her body or any other health complications that might be in the foreseeable future for this child, because who knows how those chemicals reacted in her body, right? Hopefully she doesn't have any like cognitive disabilities or anything that stem from that. And I hope that she's able to be completely healed and live her own life without having to be bogged down and dragged down by decisions that her own father made before she was ever born. You know, that shit definitely hits a soft spot as well. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates. I'll see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect. Peace.